I was waiting for God to deliver me and to work it out. Hey guys, so I'm about to bid you guys good night, but I figured I would end with a couple thoughts. I want to say this: if you have been here any length of time, then you know that I am pretty transparent in general. I've never really gone into depth about, before it wasn't nothing to go into depth about, but in this last year of me vlogging, I haven't gone into depth about where I currently was, like financially or anything like that, because I was waiting for God to deliver me and to work it out. I did not foresee being in this place for as long as I have now. And I think I mentioned that it's been about a year in a past vlog, but the truth of the matter is I have not made steady income since April of 2004. So I think you all know that I had, well, if you've rode with me for a while, I had a contract job. I was running my business, and I left my full-time job in 2022, which I do not regret, because I believe that that is exactly what God wanted me to do. I was able to leave my job at the time that I left my job. Well, let me not say that. Like it was enough for, you know, when the type of e-savings that they want you to have and stuff like that, like real, like for months. I had that, but not only did I have that, I had business, and it was steady, and I was booked and busy for all of 22 and all of 23. I was working a contract job. I was also teaching at the university at the time, so I had quite a few things popping. I had multiple streams of income, you feel me? And that was good. And in 23, things changed in our life. I'll probably go into depth for real about that another time, but some things changed. And then after I had heart failure in 23, after my daughter got sick, and this is Q4, Q4 of 23, I did one of the biggest events. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was the biggest event of my life. It probably wasn't, but very, you know, great client, notable client, you know, news executive for, like, top news executive for major network. And it was a good time, you know, but I was like struggling very much so. So in 24, I kind of was keeping up that pace, you know. I had a couple of events in 24, you know. I had some things between, you know, I think I had something like, well, how many quarters in the year? 4. So I think I had some like things 3 out of the 4 quarters. And in the Q1 of the year, I went to my contract job that I often didn't have to go into, but sometimes I needed to be like on site for like different things. And that's a whole other story for another day. I wanted to leave there sooner than I did, but I ended up having to leave because it was physically like doing me in. Like one day my heart rate was over 200 for like an hour. And that wasn't healthy. And so I had to leave that job. I had to leave it because it was going to me. And I didn't want to, because I'm balling and shot calling. Okay, I was making it. And you know, we kind of made it, you know, through. We thugged some things out where the income, after a period of time where the income needed to be replaced, you know, I supplemented with my credit cards or whatever. I don't suggest that, by the way, but I did. And I didn't do anything like super ballerific. You know, my Disney passes were paid for. I mean, it cost me $150 a month. That was for all of us. And that's like, that wasn't much, but like, you know, life lifed. And I thought that I would get more work sooner. I thought that I would get more business sooner, but I didn't anticipate the mental anguish that I was in and the burnout that I was experiencing. And so I'm going to kind of leave that there. And I want to do another video about this another time. Anyway, I want to say that I've wanted to, be transparent from the beginning. My husband told me to. But there was part of me that thought, okay, you don't just go tell your business from the standpoint of let God work it out. Let God work it out, whatever. And also part of me was embarrassed. Not in 24, because, 24, I was still living, I'm still living, but 24, things were still pretty regular. It didn't really catch up until I had been out of work and out of like business for a year. And I remember last July, I sat here on my couch and I cried because I was talking on the phone with one of my credit card companies and I was like, I can't make this payment. Is there anything we can do? And I just cried. I'm so sorry. I just cried. And don't feel sorry for me. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have what I need. But it was just too much. And there's some things that I've had a regret over. My husband told me, we're gonna be okay, don't worry about it. I'd be like, nah boy, we're gonna be homeless. Like I lacked so much faith. I lacked faith in God. I felt like I had to work myself to the bone. And I think that the season that I'm in is a result of lifing, yes, but God being like, rest in me, watch me move for you, but also like I gotta strip you down. And that's what one of my friends said to me recently. She was like, I think this is a beautiful time here, but she's like, I think God just had to strip you down. And that's, I say to the stud, she said to the bones. So that's the season that I'm in. I'm like stripped, you know what I'm saying? So y'all get a very raw version of me, a very talkative version of me, even though I edit down for time because y'all do not watch these videos. So I be like, those of you who watch them, it's a few, but I mean, I could see not who's watching, but I mean, I can see the watch time. I do an hour video and maybe people watch 15 minutes of it. So I edit down for time because let's be clear, I actually enjoy YouTube. I like it, but my goal one day is to become monetized and to make money and let this be a stream of income for me. And I've handled it, carelessly, to be honest. I've handled it carelessly. I have not stewarded it well. I can be honest about that. I have fumbled the ball. And not that I would have popped per se, because, maybe not. But if I had started back in 2012 when I wanted to do this, who knows like where I would be. And this is a lesson not to be afraid, because there are so many times in my life where I've just jumped off the porch and done things, and God saw me through it and it worked out. And so now I'm prepared to be not sick of me. I'm not gonna make you sick, but I hope that the right audience ends up here. And if you're rebuilding, if you feel like you're starting over, I don't subscribe to starting over. It's part of the process, right? But definitely rebuilding, then just know that you're not alone. I am with you. But I have faith that this season's not gonna last forever. I get on Threads sometimes and I see all these stories of people who, I've been out of work for 18 months. I've been out of work for 2 years. I was living in my car. I was homeless. And I'm like, man, God, I've had more than most. And I feel like God has used this time to show me just how much I do have. And not even in things, but that I'm rich in love. I have the best husband in the world. Like, I have to say that because he's my husband, because I know other wives feel like that too, but I really believe that. Like, he's an amazing person, and I can't even imagine like having to do this on my own, which some people do, you know. I know with God all things are possible, but I'm glad I don't have to experience that by the grace of God in this season. And so yeah, you know, I forgive my emotion about the getting sick. It was a rough road for me. But again, talk about that in another video. But yeah, you know, sometimes God does not package it in the pretty little bow that we wanted in. I just knew he was going to deliver me, baby. I just knew it because I had seen it. You know what I'm saying? I just knew it, but I can admit that my self-reliance was an idol for me. I told y'all that I don't think money was an idol for me. I don't think that. It was never about the money itself. It was about comfort. And if I could have gotten that comfort from cotton, it would have been cotton. You know what I'm saying? So my own self-reliance and not having real reliance on God, I think that's what helped land me in this season of waiting and understanding. And again, do I think life happens like this? It happens, right? But I also think we can usher lessons into our own lives. So he's taught us a lot. He's still teaching us. There's a humility in me. Um, and I want to be clear, like, I wasn't proud in the sense that I thought I was better than anybody else, or that like I was too proud to like work at McDonald's or sweep a floor or clean a bathroom. Like at my church, one of the first things I asked my pastor in 2013 was, yo, can I clean the bathroom? He laughed at me and he was like, we got people for that. I'm like, no. So it wasn't humility in that way. It was, or pride in that way. It was pride in, rooted in fear. It was fear, you know, and feeling like I had failed. When I don't know like where I got that from because I'm still alive, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And my girl Key, you know, she would tell me like, don't be this. Even before this, she's been telling me for over a decade not to be so hard on myself. And she'd be like, girl, we ain't never did this before. I used to get so annoyed when she would say it, but she wasn't wrong, you know. This last several years, I'm like, you're right, we never did this before. So anyway, this wasn't supposed to be that long, but here we are. My camera is about to what? Croak on me. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, but I will see you guys in the next vlog. And I want to say thank you and God bless you. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you watched it to the end, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. If not, give me a thumbs down. If you don't like it, that's fine too. I'll take the engagement either way. And if you feel so inclined to leave a comment, please do. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Pretty please. Love you guys. Keep trusting God. And if you don't, let's talk about it. Drop me a little note. We can talk, you know? All right. Take care, guys. Bye.